Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the sweet spot. Well, it's Self Care Saturday, and you made it. You made it to the weekend. And I'll bet that it's going to be a chore just to give yourself some self care today, but we're going to figure it out. I'm Dr. Sweet. I'm a board certified sports and performance psychiatrist, and I've learned over the years that taking care of yourself is actually not selfish. It's how you keep showing up strong for everything that matters in your life. And today, I'm talking to all of you high performers. High performers who give everything. You give everything to everyone else. You are there. You're the go-to person. And you constantly pour into everyone except yourself. So let's dive into some of the reasons why, and let's look at the science, because sometimes the science is what's most convincing to help us understand better what's going on. You know what's ironic? Our phones probably get more rest than we do. Think about it. Our phones have those batteries or those little beeping sounds that let us know when the energy is low, and it tells us, it begs us to give it a charge. And we make sure. I know I have a couple of chargers. I make sure I have 2 portable chargers. I have in-wall chargers all over the house, right? So my phones don't get a chance to run low for too long. But here's the deal. When our batteries are running low, we often keep pushing. We ignore the message to rest. And here's what's fascinating about that. Research shows that high performers are actually the worst at giving themselves permission to recover. And let's talk about why. There's this thing called the performance paradox, where studies show that the more successful someone is, the more likely they are to view rest as weakness. Is that you? Other people sometimes just feel guilty if they're not productive. Some people feel as if they're imposters, that they don't really belong where they are, so they keep working and pushing to prove themselves, prove to the world that they are the right person for the right job. And then, listen, the rest of us, we all live in a culture filled with messages about being obsessive, about being hustle-oriented, so that taking a break can feel like the wrong thing to do, like you're falling behind, that you're missing out on something. And here's where the science gets interesting. Research with elite athletes, the best of the best, shows that they have a 30% performance increase, not from training harder, but when they rest, when they actually have built-in recovery periods. And sometimes it's difficult to get athletes to want to rest and recover. They always want to train harder. But think about that. The research is clear. A 30% boost, not from doing more, but from giving yourself permission to do less. And why is that? Because according to science, the brain is literally rewiring itself during rest. Did you know that neuroscience shows that without proper recovery, our decision making suffers, and stress hormones in the body spike, and performance ultimately takes a nosedive? It's like trying to update your phone while running every single app at full speed. Eventually, it's going to crash. That's why it's critical that we find time to rest and to reset and to try to recover. But it's hard. There's this guilt that we feel when we take time off. The voice that says to us, you're wasting time. This is costing you. There's something you can do. Many times we just don't even like being still by ourselves, doing nothing, because we're so conditioned to having the phone in our hands. We're so conditioned to having the TV on. We're so conditioned by the stimuli around us. It's difficult. but the studies are clear, my friend. Continuous high performance without recovery is like trying to drive a car in fifth gear all the time. Eventually, you're not just going to slow down, you're going to break down. And that's what happens. Lots of times in the ER, in the hospital, or in the doctor's office, there's someone who has what is a physical condition, but if you really study it, they were under so much stress all the time before it got to that place. The breakdown is physical, but all the elements of contributory factors that led to this breakdown were in mental and emotional lack of rest and recovery. So here's what I want you to try on this self-care Saturday. I want you to try this concept I call self-giving recovery. And it has a few parts to it. The first part is to give yourself permission. Just give yourself permission. Remember, this entire week we've been talking about the power of giving, but not just in sort of handing things over to others. I'm talking about giving yourself permission to take care of you. Not because you're weak. You're not resting because you're weak, but because you're being strategic. The second is to give yourself purpose. To understand that recovery isn't a pause in performance, it's part of performance. That's what we tell athletes all the time. That you're not putting a pause in your performance. This is a part of your performance. So recovery is built in because when things recover, think of your cell phone. Once it's charged, it's ready to go. And third, give yourself practice. Start small, maybe with 5 minutes of deliberate rest, deliberate recovery, a deliberate time to reset. Just give yourself that time. Make yourself into a cell phone and plug yourself in, okay? And get the 5 minutes. Hey, you've been in a situation where you just want the phone to charge for like 1 minute and you start using it again. You're just so grateful to see it recover. Okay, so give yourself that. And finally, give yourself proof. And this is important, giving yourself proof, because you will notice if you allow yourself, you will notice how your energy, focus, and output improve once you've given yourself a chance to recover. Once you've made recovery a part of your performance, a part of your purpose, and that you understand how strategic you have to be, not because you're weak, but because you're strategic. Okay, so that's it. So I want you to try this as we end. Tomorrow morning before you jump into your routine, or maybe even later today before you jump into your routine, give yourself just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of complete recovery time, just to start. No phone, no planning, no productivity, just rest, just resetting. Think it's a waste of time? Here's the challenge. Measure your energy level before and after you do this. And the science says you will see a difference. Remember, even a Ferrari is going to be beat by a bicycle if it's out of gas. I don't care how fly that car looks or how beautiful it looks on the outside. If it doesn't have gas, if it's out of fuel, it's going to be beat by a tricycle. All right? So giving yourself recovery isn't a sign of weakness. It's just strategy for sustained excellence. Get that through your mind and you will build in rest every time your body asks for it. So until next time, keep taking care of you. This is Dr. Sweet, and you're in the sweet spot. We've been talking about the power of giving, and a lot of this giving has to be given to you so that you can give to others and so that you can be the best version of yourself. Hey, if you found value in today's message, why not follow me on YouTube or LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, or X at Dr. Derek Sweet for more insights, for more mindset tips, and for strategies for living your best life ever. Love and blessings. Oh, hit me up tomorrow for Sunday. You know what Sunday is, right? It's Slow Down Sunday, and we'll be closing out on the power of giving. See you then.